Hi everyone, Vic here, and I can't quite believe we're on week 6 of the Lottie Loves Paper weekly challenges, and this week it's hearts, which is very apt with Valentine's Day just around the corner. So I wanted to scrap this beautiful photograph that I'd taken with my girls a couple of years ago at Christmas time at Waddesdon. It was us just playing around with my phone, and we had great fun, and I was trying to get them to give me a kiss on each cheek. So and I really love the photo. I had loads of photos from it, but this one I really love, so I wanted to scrap the moment and the memory. Now I'm using some of my leftover Bella Boulevard candy cane collection, and I had this circle already cut from a previous layout. So what I've done is I've distressed around the edges, and then with some scrap paper I've just drawn some rough circle shapes onto that scrap paper and used them as a template to add some more circular elements to my layout. Now, to add to the layers, I decided to cut these circular apertures out on my background cardstock. Now, they're not perfect because my hand cutting with a scalpel knife is far from brilliant, but because I'm just stressing around the edges with my scissors, it really doesn't matter too much that they're not completely circular. I think by distressing the edges of things, it can hide a multitude of sins, and one of them is my imperfect circles. So going with the heart theme, I've used some of that beautiful turquoise blue paper in the collection that's got like little ditzy hearts on, super cute, and great way for me to use up some of the scraps that I had left over. So I've chosen my photograph in black and white just because the colours in this collection are so bright, I think it would get lost. And also black and white goes perfectly with any colour scheme. So if my colours didn't quite match the collection colours, it really didn't matter. Now I'm layering up some of my elements now and beginning to pull my design together. I'm using some old Bramble Fox perspectives. Really loved that square with the photo op, and again it had a heart on, and I've got a tiny little typewriter that I've tucked up the top left corner there in the tiny circular aperture, and also the love stamp as well from Bramble Fox. So I'm doing some stash busting with that as well because I have so many of those perspectives at home. I really need to get some out and get them on my pages rather than just admiring them. So I'm just having a little play around now, again with some more of the perspectives, and I've also got some glittery turquoise felt hearts there from Peartree cut files. They're called their Peartree Pieces. They're super cute, and I thought that just added another layer of detail and texture to my page. And adding also some of the mulberry flowers from the Paige Evans, I think it was Wonders collection. I really loved them when I bought them, and I've not really used them that much, so the colours tied in really nicely. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to stick to a theme here with the pinks and the turquoise. I really don't want to add any more colours in. I wanted it to try and tie together, and because there's so much going on this page, as you'll see as I go along, I really didn't want to add too many colours into the mix to confuse it even more. So I've added some of the embellishment details on, and then I just felt the page itself was looking a little bit plain, so I decided that I might add some more circular elements onto my page. But because this is a heart challenge, instead of using the circles, I decided to freehand cut some heart shapes and then cut those out of coordinating pattern papers from the collection to add more heart elements to my page. So just to make sure I've definitely fulfilled the Lottie Loves Paper challenge brief for this week. So instead of freehand cutting them as I have here, you could use your cutting machine, or if you have some heart punches of different sizes, you could use that. it's really up to you how you do it, but I don't have stuff like that at home. I prefer to do it myself by hand. I like that home sort of feel to it. And again, because I've distressed around the edges of those hearts, it really doesn't matter if they're not perfect. We could say they were imperfectly perfect, couldn't we? So yeah, that's what I've done there. I distressed around the edges of them. Again, just to add a little more texture to my page, but also to make sure that it all tied together nicely, because I'd already distressed around the edges of my circles. So what I've done is I've stuck some of those hearts that I've hand cut on foam pads to raise them up. There is quite a lot of dimension to my page, and because I've used those Bramble Fox perspectives, they do add quite a bit of depth onto your layouts. So that enabled me then to layer up my paper levels with foam pads, just so that the perspectives didn't stand completely off the page. And I love the way that, because the blue circles are behind my my cardstock background, and I've also when I adhered those, I used foam pads on the back, the reverse side of that cardstock, to give a little bit of depth, to allow me to tuck in all of those tiny little pieces of ephemera and stickers and flowers. So that's a really nice little way of being able to tuck things in. By just raising a few things up on foam pads, you can tuck things behind them. So I've gone through the ephemera pack. I've got loads of that left, so I really need to try and think of a layout to use those pieces on. And just pulled out a few little heart-shaped donuts to go with the chipboard donuts that I've added onto my page, and that Sweet Life saying at the bottom. I just felt it needed a few little word phrases or that just to tie it together. And then my title is going to be Sweetened with Love. There was a piece of paper in the collection that had almost like border strips all the way across it, and one of them had the saying Sweetened with Love on, and I really liked that. And I don't know, this photograph just makes me feel warm and fuzzy, and just shows the love that my girls and I have between ourselves, and that special bond. And to me, that's just super precious. And yeah, maybe you could say I was sweetened with love. So I'm using some thickers from a Maggie Holmes collection, but I didn't have enough ease, as you can see with the sweetened bit there. So what I do off camera is just cut up one of the numbers on that thicker sheet to add on the bottom of those E's, and I don't think you can really tell the difference if I hadn't said anything. So just a few finishing touches now, adding my journaling into that bottom right circular area, and then that helps just tie up and balance with my black and white photograph up the top left of my page, and sticking down the last few pieces of my ephemera. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this process video. Please do head on over to the Lottie Loves Paper Facebook community page and join in with this week's challenge, which is to use hearts on your page. And yeah, every Thursday there's a new challenge, so do join us. We love to see your work and your layouts, and tag us. So thanks so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. This is Vic from @ForeverScrapping, and I'll hopefully catch up with you for another instalment next week. Thanks then. Bye.